So, first movie of 2017, one of my most anticipated. Not too bad, could have been a little bit better, but at the end of the day, still pretty good. So, Underworld Blood Wars is the newest film in the Underworld series, is the fifth film in the franchise, and is the sequel to Underworld Awakening. And this is once again starts Kate Beckinsale as the character of Celine. You also got Theo James, Lara Pulver, James Faulkner, and Charles Dance. Now, so yeah. Now, this was one of my most anticipated movies of this year, and it came out international on November 24th, but it didn't get released in the US till January 6th, and I was asked by one of my YouTube friends to hold off my review until the release date, but next time I'm gonna just go on and do it early. But anyways, this year is probably going to be the year of where I review movies early. But anyways, before I go into this movie, I have to say that I've seen the reviews, bad reviews, and I disowned them. So, I just alright. So, I immediately just said, no, I'm gonna be optimistic. So I am curious, and so I decided I'm going to watch the movie myself and see if it is as bad as people saying it is. But before I get to my own opinion, I'm going to talk about the plot. The plot of this movie is sometime after the events of Awakening, the remaining vampire covens are on the verge of being wiped out by their century-long rivals, the Lycan clan. Both groups are searching for Celine. As we all know, she is a death dealer, and the vampires are seeking justice for the deaths of the elder Victor and Marcus Grevioux years prior at her hands, and the Lycans seek to use her to locate her hybrid daughter Eve, whose blood holds the key to building an army of vampire hybrids. So, I am going to talk about this movie. So yeah, this probably will have spoilers in it, and so yeah. But anyways, now after seeing this movie, I honestly do not know what the critics are talking about. I have to disagree once again on the critics and say that this movie, I enjoy Underworld Blood Wars, but it does have my issues. It does have its flaws. So I am going to try to not go too much into spoiler territory. I will give away some minor spoilers, I don't know. Anyways, so originally this movie was going to be called Underworld Next Generation. At first it was going to be a reboot, but and remember when people said that if Underworld Blood Wars and Underworld ended on a cliffhanger with Underworld Awakening, they were not going to be happy. Well, we got this movie, and some people are mixed on it, alright? But I enjoyed this movie. Now, let me talk about this film. And we have a first-time director, a new writer with Cory Goodman. And Cory Goodman, he has wrote some other movies. And we have Wiseman still producing. So yeah, it's cool. Now, this movie is released by Screen Gems and Lakeshore Entertainment, but I'm about to go on and get to the plot. To the point. I'm going to do this in spoiler fashion. Now, I'm going to talk about my pros, and then I'm going to talk about my cons. Let me start with the positives first. The acting in this movie is just fine. Kate Beckinsale returns as Celine. I love the character of Celine. She's a death dealer, and she's now a Nordic enhanced vampire Corvinus Destroyer hybrid. Sorry if I'm yawning. Like I said, she's a Nordic enhanced vampire Corvinus strain hybrid, and she's, anyone who's seen Underworld Evolution, she did drink some Alexander Corvinus' blood, and so I think she's still great. She's still hot in the black leather suit. I think she's amazing. Theo James as David. He's Celine's protege and ally, and I think he's great here. In Awakening, he had a bit smaller part, but this movie, he's all over the place. He's all over the whole movie, and that's pretty awesome. And I like him in this movie, and I love him in the Divergent movies. It sucks that they're not going to do a fourth Divergent movie. I don't know what's going on with that film, but I'm hoping for the best. You also got Tobias Menzies, who is the leader, the Lycan leader, Marius, and Marius just eventually wants to find Celine and kill her, and just yeah. And so he reveals himself in the movie as a Lycan Corvinus strain hybrid, and so yeah, So yeah, you also got James Faulkner as Cassius, Lara Pulver as the film's secondary antagonist. I think these two are just fine. They do as good as they can with what they have. You also got Charles Dance, who is a vampire elder and the father of David. Bradley James is Varga, the former villain. I didn't like the former villain. I much more like Marius. There is a certain characters in here, but we will get to it with my cons. The action is pretty nice. I do love the action scenes. The action scenes are well shot. You still got that blue color scheme, which I'm glad they're keeping the color scheme of blue, because if you did it in a different color scheme, it just wouldn't feel right. Yeah, I think the action here is shot really well, and the Foerster shot it well. It's her directorial debut, and some people, but it's alright. I like the special effects in here. I love special effects. I loved it's just pretty cool, and just I really do like the music in here. I think the music is fine. The music is pretty darn good for an Underworld movie. Always has been. And you got some another awesome things in here, and just the action is pretty good. The movie is 91 minutes, so that's very quick, but there were parts of this movie where I found to be a little boring. Most of the story I didn't pretty much care about, and just, I don't know. And, I just think it's alright. And this is the first movie to have a female director in the Underworld series, so yeah. And just, this, and just, I think the production design, the costume design, especially the one costume she wears, if you've seen the trailers, with the white coat, I think that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. But I do have to point out my negatives, and this is why I do have to talk about my negatives with the issues that I have with this movie. Okay. Issue number one. Michael. This movie lacks the character of Michael. I know Scott Speedman has said that. Yeah, Scott Speedman has said that he does not want to do any other more Underworld movies, and that's alright. I understand. Trent Garrett is Michael. I like him. I think he's alright, but what they do to him, I won't spoil what it is, but you could have done something better with to getting rid of him, or because him and Eve's presence are sort of is likely missing. You do get India Isley, who appears in archive footage. I don't know if they didn't want to bring her back for this one. I don't know, but it would have been nice to see her back. Sivede Driga replaces Zita Gorog, who's retired from acting, as Amelia, and we do get some archive footage from the previous films about this whole war thing. This movie is eventually the war, so I do like that. But the movie also, I still kind of don't like. But yeah, like I said, the lack of the character, the lack of Michael and Eve is just insanely missing. I think there's no reason for you to not put her in this movie, because it would have been cool it would have been cool to see her back in the movie. I think it would have been cool. But it is what it is. There were times in this movie I found it to be a little boring, and that's not good for an Underworld movie. Especially, I know the first one, the average most being boring, but that's because it was setting everything up. But there were times where I found it to be a little boring. The story did kind of get a little confused at one moment. And then, yeah. So, overall, my overall thoughts with Underworld Blood Wars, I still enjoy Underworld Blood Wars nonetheless, but I do have to say that the lack of Michael and Eve really does hurt this film. And if you would have at least had Michael go out fighting, I think, and just put the daughter in here, I think this movie would not be as hated on as much as by my YouTube friend Sean, who is a big Underworld fan. But this movie, it is what it is. It's a good movie, but it is not the best one. By far, I still think Underworld Evolution is my favorite. So, with the next film, if they choose to do another one, I am hoping that Underworld 6 does bring back, I hope they do bring Eve back, because I would really like to see the character Eve again, and it would be pretty awesome. So yeah. So if we do get I hope this movie does, we do bring back India Isley's Eve, because I really want to see her and Kate Beckinsale's character fighting off, because, and otherwise she was a cool character. So yeah, for a grade for the first movie of 2017, I will have to give this movie a highly recommended. It's not the worst movie. There are worse movies out there that I've seen. So yeah, you guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of Underworld Blood Wars? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was alright? Were you split on it? And I will see you guys for Sing. Bye.